Oh, yawn. Oh, God. It's like I've just woken up, isn't it? Hey there, guys. What's going on? I'm Shane from Yugioh Masters. And today I want to talk about something that's actually quite... It's been a big argument on deck building forums and all that jazz. Is Solemn Strike good? And is guiding Aarointheknee good? The answer to that is gonna be discussed in this video, and I'm not sure, so I'm gonna have to talk it through with you guys. Seriously, okay. So the point of this video is to go over whether or not Strike is good and whether Aarointheknee are good. Two new cards from the new set. On paper, God, these are the most broken cards ever. I saw Strike, I was like, this is stupid. Mostly because it can stop massive pendulums. And Aarointheknee is good because of the combos with Sorcerer. You can end up with a hand just full of junk. There's a few problems with these ideas, and I'm going to go through them pretty much now. So let's start first with a problem with Aarointheknee. Firstly, a problem is it clogs. It doesn't really do anything. It's 4-star, of course. It's not bad, but it does clog. As opposed to the rest of the Pepe deck. Let's say it's in Pepe, which all works together. This has synergy with Luster Pendulum, but let's be honest, Luster Pendulum has synergy with everything. So that's that. Now, I'm going to show you something a little bit. If you've not played the deck, you might not have realised this, but let's say you're playing 3 Aarointheknee, and your first turn you want to get 3 counter traps to hand. The problem with this is, okay, so let's say you go Aarointheknee and you blow it up, and you give your opponent a choice of 3 cards. You give them 3 Solemn Strikes, and they go, okay, you get to keep Solemn Strikes. So this goes here. Now you got 4 left in your deck. Let's say you kill an Aarointheknee, yeah? Now you've got these 4 cards. Now you want the Solemn Warning, of course, with the Solemn Strikes. So here you're not too bad. This isn't bad. So you go, they'll probably give you Strike. Maybe Warning, but who knows? And now we're down to this. This is the problem. Now we are down to 3 counter traps, and Scalding's in there. They'll give you the Scalding every time. So you're never going to see Warning. You're never going to see Strike ever again. And a lot of people are running, is it Grand Horn of Heaven? Or is it Great Horn of Heaven? No, it's Grand Horn of Heaven. So a lot of people are running 2 of these. So let's start that again. And, you know, Aarointheknee dies. You offer them 3 Strike, they have to give you a Strike. Then you offer them Strike, Strike, and Solemn Warning. Yeah, they give you... Let's say they give you Warning, let's say that. From here on out, you can never get a Strike again, unless your opponent is stupid enough to give it to you. They'll give you Grand Horn every time. Because look, the 3 you're going to offer is Strike, Strike, and Scalding. They'll give you Scalding every time. Strike, Strike, Grand Horn. They'll give you Grand Horn every time. There's no chance you're ever going to get these. And the problem with this is you have to run 7 counter traps. And if you're running that build, you need to make sure you don't draw any in your first hand, because drawing 2 counter traps first hand, especially if you go second, is diabolically bad. I mean, this deck can, and I'm going to say this, can start off with an unbeatable field, especially if you go with like Strike, Strike, and you pendulum down, and you get yourself a big old field with, let's say, Infinity and Rafflesia with some counter traps. That's fantastic. That is just great. You're going to win those games. We're going to be talking about the games you don't win because of the consistency. Every deck out there, and I'll say this to a lot of people, every deck out there can win. Every deck out there. Even if it's bad, it'll have a different amount of times it'll be able to win. This is what we call consistency. Let's say you're, the amount of times people come up to me and say they got a fucking great Blackwing deck, and I'm like, that's cool, you do win something. And when they say, oh, this card really helps out, I'm like, yeah, it probably does. But it's not consistent, and it probably won't help out most of the time. And the times it helps, it's fine. That's your win rate. But the times it doesn't, that's where you lose. So the problem with this, the problem with Aarointheknee and, let's say, Pendulum Sorcerer or Luster Pendulum, is that these cards are very... Every single card here stops your opponent from doing something instead of making you do something. And Pepe feels like it's a deck where it needs to be doing something as opposed to sitting back. And of course, like I said, you can open the God Hand of Ariadne, you can open Sorcerer, and you can open Luster Pendulum. God Hand, it's almost unbeatable. You'll end up with 3 counter traps. You'll end up with a strike, a warning, and a Grand Horn. That is what you'll end up with. Or unless you're using Scalding. A lot of people don't like Scalding because, you know, if you've got a bunch of the counter traps, you know, Scalding's not going to work. So even then, you might want to just throw Scalding away and just have 3 Grand Horn Heaven. So we've got a problem with this. You've really, really got a problem with consistency. I feel like Strike is one of those cards that, and this happens a lot it happens a hell of a lot in Yu-Gi-Oh, where a card comes out a set or 2 late. It's just like a set or 2 too late. Like Solemn Strike 2 sets ago, boom. Guiding Ariadne with it, it's like God. Now it feels like the game got so fast that these are just like not good enough right now. And we've got a ban list coming up. But I have a really bad feeling that we're not going to have this. It's not going to kill Pepe enough. It's just not. Like Pepe, I likened it to a 10-legged table. And they're going to kick out 2 of the legs. And it's going to be fine. It's unlike other decks where they just like kick out all the legs and it's just like a flat table on the floor. And it's like, nah, I'm dead. Like they did with Dragon Rulers. I mean, God, look at Dragon Rulers when they came out. They came out, they were insanely godly. We had Sixth Sense, we had the Super Rejuvenation, we had all that jazz. Then they went and banned Sixth Sense, they banned Super Rejuvenation, they banned all the baby dragons. And they were like, alright, we'll just have 3 of all of the E-Drags. I call them E-Drags, Elemental Dragons, they're Dragon Rulers, but whatever. And then they were like, oh man, 3 of each are still too good. They put them all to 1. And then they were like, 1's still too. Seriously, they were winning games with just 1 of each Dragon Ruler. They were God. It was God. They had to give it a Dragon Ravine to make sure it wasn't good. Seriously, they had to get to the point where they banned everything to do with that deck before it was gone. Oh God, just random sneeze in the middle of a video. And I feel like that's going to be what it's going to be with Pepe. Pepe's got so much stuff. The Form Pals, the Pendulums, they're just so insanely strong that they're gonna hit it, and everyone's like, oh shit, this is not good, and then someone's gonna come out and be like, you know what, it's still really good, and I'm probably still gonna win. But yeah, this has been my little discussion about the counter traps and the problem with Ariadne, and the fact that the second you've got 1 strike and 1 warning, you will get the bad ones, and these ruin your consistency when you draw them. Scalding probably wouldn't even be in there, but a lot of people like it anyway. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess with this. I mean, I saw the build at first, and I saw it and I thought it was like broken. But now, as I've gone forward and I've played against it, I'm like, or played with it and played against it, I was like, it's not as good as I thought. And I think that's exactly how this discussion's gone. It's just not as good as we first thought. So yeah, thanks for watching this, guys. This has been us talking about Solemn Strike and Ariadne and all the other counter traps and how they're working. So yeah, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe on all the videos and all that jazz, and I'll see you next time for more Duel and Chill or whatever the hell I upload next. Bye!